Yeah, I should be live now. Let's just check that the microphone is on the right setting. Oh wait, that's the webcam one. I think this is what we need. We'll just let it get in the spotlight. I wonder if I can open up the comments. Yeah, I'll come forward in a couple of minutes. Well, I'm just so glad I kind of didn't get put off with picturing firing systems afterwards. I've clearly resumed. Like, I think I've restarted immediately the day afterwards. And probably just gone back to the way I was doing it. I mean, with this subject, hopefully I'll be able to get the footage exported since I managed to recycle it. Well, hopefully I don't forget exactly what I'm supposed to be talking about. Maybe if I just watch back the footage that I got from that place, I'll be reminded. This may be intense. It's okay, I think I'll just try my best to get straight to the point right now. Like, you may remember, like a couple of live streams ago, I explained about, me being banned from a place in Ely for picturing the whole firearm system, and probably they only caught me at the last minute when I'd already finished, and then banned me for a minute. But you think that was the worst situation that I had? No, it just wasn't. Besides, that situation only lasted like 2 minutes or 1 minute at most, actually. Yeah, something like that. Because this next one is, I'd say, much worse. Because the next one at least lasted probably no less than 10 minutes and probably up to about 20. And whatever happens next is probably just too intense. Yeah, we've got 2 people watching at the moment. Oh, and yeah, I kind of thought that I'd probably be caught in London when in the end I get banned from a place in Ely, which is miles out of London first. But no, this one now is in London. So this is kind of a more realistic situation, unlike last time. Well, I don't know about being banned is exactly the case, but I'd say the much bigger case is being detained. This is kind of a long and intense story in some cases. So, well, basically, I was going to call the title "I got detained illegally for picturing their fire alarm system," as if, like, well, basically, like a certain someone who gets detained for, well, A, trespassing probably somewhere that's not normally accessible, and B, possibly surfing their lifts. That's kind of what you get detained for this sort of kind of situation. That's what normally happens, but no. What do they detain me for the same reason as if I'm that person? Just for picturing one device in one shop. In a place that I've been to hundreds of, well, not hundreds, but loads of other times from 2016, and may have already pictured over 100 photos in that one site, like on previous visits. And if anything, this time I probably pictured the least amount of photos that I'd ever been there. And now something happens. If anything, it just seems like kind of intense and, well, what do you call it? So yeah, kind of. I mean, if anything, at this point, well, I was going down to, well, it's a good nose. Oh wait, no, I'd already done that. That was a different day, wasn't it? Well, if anything, later on I went to North London, but I mean that was the plan anyway. But I decided to stop over at Ilford because I needed to sort something out. It wasn't aimed at this main site, but well, I needed to sort something out with Nationwide, and I only went into this place because I needed to go to the bathroom. That's kind of the only reason why I went in there. But I kind of figured out that I was not really finished with picturing the fire alarm system there, so I decided to find anything else that I may have missed last time. So, well, I may have pictured several photos before this last one in other parts of the building that, as usual, no one notices. Not normally, anyway. So when I come to the last one, although I may have eyed it for a second thinking it was a JSB call point, and probably decided not to picture it, but I took a closer look at it and realised it was a jump call point, and then decided to picture it because it was different. But now, if it had been a JSB call point, then I wouldn't have been able to picture it, because I'd already pictured loads of the FX201s already, like as I thought it was, because they're probably the most common of their kind. So, well, except the only difficulty is this call point was kind of hidden behind a sort of mannequin because it was a clothes shop. Like, it was not an unauthorized area though, because it was just right next to the call point. I had to go behind it, if anything, in the spotlight. I mean, there was a unknown guy standing further away from me first. He didn't eye me at first, but I did. It was probably a bit time-consuming to picture that call point because I had to easily edge around to picture it. It may have taken up to, I don't know, 10 seconds for the process to go through. And the next thing I know, well, what starts off as a normal kind of questions, it kind of turns into a bit of aggression. And well, I'm like, well, here we go. Another situation like this. But no, it's just a lot more than that this time. If anything, it's like that call point was a trap. If anything, they must have known I had been there previously and wanted to catch me. So they probably laid out a decent fire alarm system for me to try and if I saw it, I would have pictured it. So yeah, like, I don't have footage of the first bit, but I kind of remembered, like that I should record any situation, especially one like this, if it ever happens. Well, so yeah, okay, so sure, similar situations like the first bit of this one has happened before, like in Boots in Hammersmith, but the only difference, they were not so much aggressive. And well, in this particular one, like, it starts off as the usual words, it's kind of, but then the next thing I hear is, well, okay, of course he kind of asked me to delete the photo, and I kind of say no, like I did last time someone had said that to me, and the time before that. They just normally give in or something, or they kind of find out or figure out that I'm not some terrorist, I'm an enthusiast. That's what normally happens anyway. But no, what does this guy do? Well, he kind of keeps well, if anything, like after that, he said that I was on private property, but it wasn't. It was just a normal shop, and I wouldn't have been able to get into it if it was actually private property, would I? Well, maybe there can be some occasions where, you know, unauthorized areas can be occasionally open, but he claims that a normal shop is like private property. He claims that I'm trespassing it. I mean, maybe I should tell everyone else and they're not going to that shop because he claims it's private property, and then no one will be able to visit it. That kind of makes sense as well. Yeah, you can't think that as trespass. Besides, trespassing isn't a crime anyway. So yeah, how can... It's like he's trying to find excuses to get me to delete that photo. I mean, that's not the only excuse he came up with. There's loads of others as well. And, well, if anything, I'll be exposing the video. Although, unfortunately, like, I don't mean that. I mean picturing firearm systems. The thought of picturing firearm systems being illegal. That's what I'm talking about. It's not about people having firearm systems. Of course, that's legal. But yeah, like, I mean, this video is aimed at, well, possibly the previous situation and now this one. Well, it's particularly aimed at this one. I don't really care about the other one because the other one was far from intense, unlike this one. I mean, but yeah, like, because, well, you may think I'm the only person who does it, or certainly people in that place will definitely think I'm the only person who does it, but I clearly am not. I may be, well, possibly one of the most well-known and probably most active, in some cases who constantly does it, but there are loads of other people out there that picture firearm systems in buildings. Certainly if we were in America, it's really common. If anything, UK firearm systems are underrated. Well, exactly, like, that's what I'm talking about. Who's saying that? Let me tell you something. Shop owner of Exchange Ilford is saying that. So there you go. If anything, I've got like 2 minutes worth of, or 2.5 even. Or how long was it actually? About probably up to 5 minutes worth of footage within, possibly not the worst part of the situation, but possibly it was during the, well, me being detained. I mean, the next thing I know, I walk out, the guy follows me right up to, well, just the escalator towards the exit. I kind of stop. He just walks alongside me. He's just constantly talking to me, but at the last minute he chooses to call security and tries to come up with, well, claiming that I'm doing something illegal. Of course, being security, I'm not going to expect them to be, nice about it, because it never happens normally. I'm used to people catching me and being nasty about it, but this one's probably the most nastiest yet. I mean, of all the places for it to happen, I'm surprised. I'm surprised it didn't happen there first. It never happened in 2016 or what other years did I go? 2017 as well. Hmm. Well, exactly. Well, sure, they claim well, I mean, mostly like the most common mistakes are like terrorists. That's what they normally mistake me for. But when I say that I'm not a terrorist and that I'm more of a enthusiast, oh, you should have seen the. This bit's kind of somewhat hilarious, but yeah, like when the security does come, I mean, a few minutes later, well, okay, this may be a bit intense and kind of scary as well. But if anything, the video's not out yet. I have to try and see if I can find a way to export it from this phone. But yeah, it will be out eventually. Probably do it like. But yeah, because the security actually looked at the pictures on my phone, like he kind of found out that I'd been doing this like well more often than they seem, and they also know where I live as well. They're like so shocked about the fact that I come from all like 70 miles away from where they are, just to picture phone systems like wherever I go, and they just call me fucking weird. They literally did swear at that point as well. They actually did say that. So, well, yeah, well, sure, they didn't exactly see the Instagram page, and nor did they see the previous pictures. Although I did tell them that I had previously been there loads of other times and pictured whatever else there was, basically. Yeah, well, I need to sort of get my shit together. I need to sort of learn how to deal with more situations like this because I'm just coming fed up of it now, of situations like this happening. But I'm not giving it up. That is, I mean, even an illegal detaining probably can't stop me as well. Although they probably were this close to calling the police on it, and I actually thought they were going to do it, even though they wouldn't have had a reason to do so, and that they probably would have been wasting police time over something that's more of a misunderstanding of something that really isn't illegal but they think is. Well, might as well show it. Well, I think there's loads of times that being questioned and being caught, and also, well, it happens loads of times, especially in London. Well, I mean, there was also that one time in Superdrug in Stowmarket where I pictured one device, and then the next thing I get monitored. When I pictured the last thing, I get questioned. Well, I thought that being monitored was probably the creepiest kind of situation there was. Also, I mean, there was also another similar kind of situation where someone claims I'm in an unauthorised area, which I'm not, in Superdrug in Ilford. I mean, I pictured a call point that's clearly next to a shelving unit in the public area, and the person who catches me claims that I'm in an unauthorised area when I'm not. Although, unlike this situation, they were not horrible about it either. In fact, they even figured out that I was an enthusiast that time. It's kind of a rare encounter where someone actually understands. Well, yeah. Anyone else who pitches firearm systems, don't be put off with what I say about the experience. Keep doing it, and because the fact is, it's not illegal, and well, the fact is, we have fucking rights about all this. don't quite get that. Still, sure, I'm probably just too bleak-minded to deal with the situation, let alone fucking weird. So, well, I guess they really do. They can ban me from exchanging offers for all I care. I suppose I have kind of finished with picturing its foreign system anyway, especially now. Well, I might not have, because I don't know what else is in there, but still. I mean, I don't know if I was banned from there, but I mean, it's possible. But it never got confirmed with me being banned from there in the end. But just with their attitudes, I kind of figured out I might have been. I suppose I am now, but I probably wasn't back then. Because I'll be honest with you, it was quite scary being illegally detained and probably, I don't know, maybe being threatened, or not in a average kind of way, but it may be a bit less serious than that. I mean, if I had the whole lot recorded, oh yeah, that reminds me, they did find out that I was recording it, in which I kind of stopped that immediately. But the reason I'd done it is because, well, they were being too much of a drama queen, too aggressive about what I was doing, and well, the main reason is because someone had told me if I was ever in a situation like that I should record it and expose it. So that's why I'd done it, because I knew it was going to be horrible. I just hope, well, I mean, maybe they don't have to ban me. I might just not go back there again, but I probably might have to at some point. Well, I don't know. Just have to see about it. If anything, I did delete, well, everything from Exchange Ilford that they had forced me to do, but I recycled it from the bin afterwards. I mean, I made sure I was well out of sight before I'd actually done it. I didn't recycle it until I got to, I don't know, North London. So I just, although I still had my nationwide job to do first in the bank, I just had to get that out of the way first. Even though I was kind of inside, I was kind of shaking, still stressed out from the previous situation, but I kind of managed to put on an average brave face and sorting that thing out, and then I would leave Ilford immediately. So yeah, I got the footage. Video will be out at some point. So, well, I mean, I even said to them, "Hey, it's not like I'm surfing your lift." Now that'd be a more likely reason to illegally detain me like that. I mean, I know that lift surfing moron gets in a situation like this all the time. But the only difference that well, he has probably a slightly better reason to be in a situation like that. I mean, hence the. I mean, really, what was True thinking that security guys actually were doing the right thing when it comes to. Yeah, True says that security were doing the right thing when it comes to lift surfing, but okay, sure, I may have originally thought of picturing foreign systems as something similar, but now I see it as something completely different. Picturing foreign systems isn't as dangerous, so there you go. So there is no reason to be illegally detained for picturing firearm systems. So what the hell gives them the right to treat me like the so-called lift surfing moron who may have a better reason to get through a situation like that, let alone being able to deal with it in some cases a bit better? And in fact, even the secret vault had said to me that, well, even if I did so happen to go into an unauthorised area and picture the foreign system in that area, that's not illegal either. Even the secret vault found that okay. Try to see if I can remember more about this certain event. So yeah, the situation in Ely from previous was nothing compared to this now. Besides, at least the guys in Ely were not horrible about it. They just, well, I mean, the guys in Ilford did the same thing. They pictured me at the last minute. Well, they never said that I was banned from it, but I figured out I probably would be. Besides, they know every little bit about me. I mean, like some, if anything, like some scammer that you kind of came across online, but like that kind of situation. I mean, it felt like something like it wasn't supposed to be. Well, I mean, no. I mean, some say security guys are meant to be the nice people, but with my experience, they just aren't. But I guess it doesn't really come to. It wasn't them that started it. They were just called out by one of many shop owners in the area. I want to see if I can also find a relatable video that kind of relates to exactly what this guy was like. Still, I don't really know what to think, but this guy was just absolutely crazy. I mean, okay, sure, they asked me, how would you feel if you recorded someone, well, I don't know exactly what else was said. Well, you know what I said? I said I wouldn't care if anyone had done that to me, because I'm sure they probably do have something to say about it. Well, but they kind of said otherwise, as if I was doing the wrong thing. Well, I mean, you guys can correct me. You can say that I'm doing the wrong thing as well. I mean, like, if anything, like before the situation, I pictured another near identical call point. Maybe in his point of view, I would have thought, if I was in his eyes, it does look near identical, but to me, it isn't. It's not even the same design. But when he found out I pictured, well, another call point within the same place, or he probably didn't know whether it was in the same place or not. Probably didn't care either. He asked me to delete that one as well. This is why I kind of lost it with my temper when I'd already gone that far, basically. Like, well, still, he's already been an absolute drama queen about it, so what the hell does he expect? So, like, well, I kind of, okay, sure, I take control of myself, like, less than seconds afterwards, but well, I just felt that was not in the same shop, and, well, if anything, I kind of shouted this at him, because, I mean, that's probably what kind of got his attention to sort of call security. I mean, my own attitude as well. I mean, probably too relatable to the other one anyway, so why not? I mean, really, I just don't know how I'm not gonna, get away with a situation like this one again. I mean, of course, I'm not stopping it, that is, but I am being serious here. I mean, because I know it's not the only time something similar has happened. because most people in places that don't know about people like me, I mean, loads of people don't know about people like me anyway, even if I'm not the only one, but I'm probably one of 10, I guess, but like, that's probably 10 out of, well, way more. I mean, who knows? And I guess the not so weird people kind of rule the streets of London and everywhere else, particularly shop owners. I mean, particularly shop owners that probably don't give a fuck about their possible customers picturing their phone alarm systems. I mean, there is nothing wrong with generally picturing anything. I mean, it may vary depending on what it is in some cases, but there is no need to go apeshit about it. But yeah, I'm just becoming fed up of people thinking that the thought of picturing phone alarm systems is illegal. Because I mean, I've just had it up to here now with these situations I go through most of the time. I mean, I think it's the only shopping centre it's ever happened in. I mean, and it's the only time in this one place it's ever happened as well. I mean, I'm surprised it never happened anywhere else. Like, I mean, really, what about when I was in Wembley and there was an open door and there was the phone alarm? I'm sure the hallway was dark, no one would have been able to see me very well, but the light was coming from the door where the phone alarm was. I mean, I got away with that easily. I mean, if anything, like, I mean, some say that the hardest places to picture phone alarm systems would be underground or railway stations, and it hasn't. And I've never been caught picturing anything in those areas ever. And that kind of makes it easier now. Yeah, I didn't even get caught in Euston Station picturing their phone alarm system. And well, I don't know which one's the hardest to do, but to me, none of them. Even if there is like CCTV littered all over tube stations everywhere. I mean, normally there is anyway. Maybe I should, well, no, I'll do that some other time. I mean, really, I can't believe all this happened over one of many times going to that place picturing their fire alarm system. I'm surprised it never happened anywhere else where it'd be more likely to happen. And if anything, even when it never even happened when I, surfed that lift with that guy. I mean, I'm surprised it never happened at that point either. I mean, well, if anything, lift surfing's too dangerous for my liking now anyway. Well, maybe not. Well, maybe that's not really the word I would have used to put me off of it, but still. I mean, they kind of mean, they just treat me like they treat that guy for less of a good reason. I mean, really, still, I'm trying my best not to give in to any of it, like I did last time. So it will continue. So, I mean, I'm not laying this. I'm continuing to. I mean, I think the more I do this, the more likely it's going to become legal. Well, it shouldn't really be illegal anyway. I mean, well, if anything, the more I do it, the more knowledge people will get about my kind. I suppose if I say I'm not a terrorist, my word is clearly final, especially if I see what's on my phone. So that kind of also gives it away that I'm an enthusiast. I mean, I suppose the amount of times they just call me weird is just endless. I mean, I'm not particularly surprised, to be honest, but they probably are. Like, they just don't understand my kind at all. Well, I suppose. Never mind. But yeah, if anyone does want to still go to exchange your for the picture their firearm system, especially as it is worth picturing most of it. I mean, don't be put off by this live stream. You can still go there and do it. Well, I don't know what advice I would give to be careful, but just do it. I mean, you have the right to do it anyway. I mean, as long as you're, kind of sensible about it. I mean, that goes for anywhere else as well. I mean, sure, they think it's weird, but I know I'm not the only person who does it. I mean, I can name, well, at least a few others. But it seems to me that I probably get the worst kind of situations all the time, particularly for just this. And that's kind of the only thing that feels like it's too illegal for, I just have the feeling that one of these days it may give me a criminal record, even if it probably might not comply. I don't know if I should move on subjects from the first to the next, whether to continue what I covered in the first one, or to, just sort of come forward a bit more. Well, but now that I think about this situation, I don't really have anything negative to say about it. So, But still, I've already come this far. I mean, I even did think about like sending just a general message to Exchange Ilford. The fact that one of their owners has illegally detained me for picturing their firearm system on probably probably over the 5th occasion. So that'll probably give them bad reviews. And the fact that they've probably given me the worst kind of situation that's never happened before. I mean, really, it's not like they had anything to hide, like the other place. They never had anything to hide either. But sure, anything that detracts me from a building is a modern firearm system that I'm not interested in the slightest. Like a bog standard Apollo system with either XFP or maybe Kentech Advanced. Well, anything. Any time I see a system with intelligent call points and base sounders, I just bypass that place. Not going in there, too modern for my liking. So they probably wouldn't have to go through all the detaining and everything. Certainly if I had a fight system, you'd really get me out of it. But yeah, don't encourage this place to get a modern firearm system that's too bog standard for anyone's liking, just because of the being detained. I mean, you can't pin it on that. I mean, sure, I probably could have said to them, if you don't want me picturing your firearm system, get a modern one that I don't like. And then I wouldn't have to picture it, and nor would I have to film you being aggressive to me. That's how it is, but no, don't encourage them to get a modern firearm system. That's also not the way to go either. Besides, it's not really old enough to be removed anyway. I mean, it's probably under the 20-year mark. I don't know exactly how old it is. It's probably around my age, perhaps. I mean, really, I didn't really have time to identify that system, so I just assumed that it was a conventional system like the previous one. Well, I mean, the other shop system like that I had seen was confirmed conventional because there was Kentech Sigma. And this one hasn't been confirmed because I never... Although I probably would have looked in further in the shop and see what else there was, and probably pictured those. I guess it kind of relates to the Superdrug in Beckton, which had a similar shop system like this, which was also confirmed conventional, hence the Zone Master repeater panel. Although you don't really get that kind of equipment in Superdrug. If anything, unlike that, I can't remember the name of this shop. But I know where it is and I know what firearm system it has, so that's good enough. Maybe if I just... Well, I don't know. I mean, if I go back there, I may possibly be recognised, but what can they do? And besides, what if I just went into the TK Maxx or Wilco or Marks and Spencer's, which has an entrance from outside the shopping centre as well as inside. So they can't recognise me in any of those places, can they? Even though the firearm system is still interconnected with the main shopping centre. But that doesn't really count with the fact that, I mean, if I was banned from that place, they won't be able to recognise me in any of those places. Because I don't think they're linked to those shops. So they can't ban me for a whole shopping centre. I mean, really, if they had banned me from a whole shopping centre, what parts of the shopping centre can I not go into? I mean, which parts of the shopping centre are within the site? I mean, does that go for Marks and Spencer's as well? Because that's kind of a separate building, but it just so happens to have connection to the shopping centre. Does that go for the car park as well? Even though the car park is a lot less secure. I mean, does that also go for TK Maxx and I'd assume that it would just go for the one shop I've been taking note in. I mean, okay, sure, maybe the hallways of the shopping centre may possibly have recognised me, but still. I mean, I will try and get my own back one of these days. I mean, forget Ely, I'm going to do it here instead. Yeah, well, there was nothing wrong with this fire alarm system. It was all perfect, and it was demodernised. So what's wrong with that? I mean, I don't think anything on this fire alarm system is, like. Well, actually, I'm trying to think if there is actually anything wrong with any parts of this fire alarm system, but I don't think there is. I'd say it's all 100% perfect. Sure, you can occasionally find missing detectors and blanked out call points. If anything, even Euston railway station has more faults with that fire alarm system than this one. Well, maybe just have a look on fire alarm photos, you'll probably figure it out. But, well, the last one the one that I claimed as a trap was an old style Chubb call point with, I mean, very similar to the one that I got in 2012, I think. Yeah. Probably the first ever old style KC call point I'd ever got. So, yeah, similar to that. Well, plus it was completely original as well. So, that kind of shows it. I mean, you don't normally see equipment like that out in the world. I mean, I don't anyway. Some people might find it more common in other areas than that area. Even though Chubb is kind of nationwide across the UK, unlike other companies, so... Exactly. Well, sure, some people might not be able to deal with situations like that, and I probably dealt with it unprepared. I mean, no one can ever be prepared for a situation like that where they probably misunderstand anything. Sure, normally when it comes to a different kind of situation, they normally do it under trespass. If these guys called the police, they would have done it under terrorism. Well, and trespass as well. Even though there wasn't really anything that I had trespassed, so that wouldn't comply. I suppose even if they had called the police, they probably wouldn't have responded anyway, particularly to a... And this isn't even urbexing. But I suppose this is probably what makes urbexing safer than public buildings. Yes, that. Yes, this makes sense. Urban exploring is safer than public buildings, because you get to picture the whole system, and without being caught in any parts of it. That's the benefit now. This is why I need to retake up urbexing and ditch the public places, because I'm fed up of being caught in public places, and especially as most of them have more modern systems anyway. Places that you can urbex are more likely to have old equipment as well, so that's why it's a better option. Still, what the hell do I have to do to get back into the urbex community though? I'm still patiently waiting for it, and I'm too extremely lost as it is. I thought I'd done it last year, but it was kind of everyone else has forced me to go against him. So what choice did I have? Oh please, just being told you can't picture. I can name loads of times that's happened to me, particularly in London, but not just in London. It happens everywhere. I suppose when you're kind of far out of London, it's a lot less likely to happen because places in London are a lot more secure. I suppose there was even that one time that I had pictured equipment in Paternoster Square in central London. I mean, this guy wasn't all that aggressive, but he kind of did say, you can't just go around the city picturing fire alarm systems, even if you did accept it. Oh, a Tyco, that's fine. That's not too much of a disgusting modernisation, I guess. XP95 replacing Tyco. It's kind of slightly more decent and more affordable and kind of efficient. But I mean, okay, sure, there is a slight record of Morrison's having Tyco. Technically, loads of people don't understand this. I mean, you can just go somewhere and picture a phone system and get caught, and anyone you get caught by will not understand it in the slightest. Especially if you're in London. Okay, sure, I look weird, especially when I come to somewhere just to picture the fire alarm system. But even still, I kind of try to remain hidden and anonymous, and also this is why I do my shopping in other places as well. Well, I'm not really having much luck with that, but I am trying to do it. Still, I suppose if I had a modern fire alarm system, I wouldn't bother picturing it normally. Well, exactly. And tell the shop owners to mind their own business as well, instead of being horrible. I mean, I could have said that to them myself, but I figure that would just be, you know. But yeah, the fact is, this is why I kind of wanted to take up urbexing, because I mean, I was just fed up of these public buildings with A, modernising their fire alarm system, and B, kind of catching me whenever I pictured a good equipment. You know what? It's always the good places I get caught in normally. Sure, there may have been a couple of others as well, but still. I mean, normally, like, okay, there may be a quarter of situations like that with picturing decent equipment. I suppose when I pictured that really young BBC system, nothing happened. That was fine. And I think one of the safest places to go is probably Tesco's, of literally any kind, because there's only one Tesco's that I've ever been to. I've ever been caught picturing their fire alarm system in. There may have been others where I may have been a bit close to being caught, but it never happened, so they don't count. That's what I tell him every time. I'm interested in fire alarm systems, but you can't just. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. Well, actually, all the time it doesn't normally work. Okay, maybe there have been some occasions where they have accepted it, but not everyone does. Particularly this one, and neither does the guy who banned me from that shop in Ely. He doesn't give a fuck either. Just tell that to Exchange Alford, and well, if anyone can, well, track down that shop, try and have a word with him. Yeah, but no one's really going to do that because besides, it's not no one else's business. Oh, actually, I just remembered. This is probably what I should do every time I get caught. Tell them that I think I've only done this on one occasion, but tell them, because think about it. When you become a fire engineer, you'll have the authority to do it, so you'll be less likely to be caught doing it. Like, I mean, I'd only done this once. Sometimes I forget about doing it because I probably keep giving up hope about it. But I did say this once. I mean, you wait. One of these days, I'll have the authority to do this when I'm a fire alarm engineer. That's basically the idea of doing it. Basically, I'd say that's probably either similar or kind of better than urbexing. Doing it authorized. That's probably the same with being a lift engineer as well. I wouldn't not recommend that either. And I bet even the fire alarm engineers have the authority to surf lifts as well, because it is possible. I mean, think about it. What if they eventually call me out to have a look at their fire alarm system in a place that I'm banned from? Well, I'm going to be like, no, you banned me from that place. I'm not allowed to be in there, am I? So, and don't think for a minute you got the wrong number as well. I am a fire alarm engineer, but you banned me previously when I wasn't. So you're not getting a service from me because your staff are way too aggressive. They follow through with this. They take it too seriously. They detained me. So fuck off. If anything, now I wish they. I don't know what would have happened if they had actually called the police for either or both trespassing and terrorism suspicions, kind of. Even though I may have expressed what I really was. I don't know what would have happened if they had actually done it. I think deep down they knew they were overreacting and didn't do it. Or they probably knew that. Well, they clearly knew that I regularly do this. Which photo? What if these guys forced me to delete it? And then, like, I'd recycle it in front of them. Oh, and nothing, like... Well, I mean... Well, maybe I could at least tell them that I had been forced to delete it. Okay, sure. I mean, something similar happened in the British Museum in 2017, but that only lasted like 30 seconds. And again, I had recycled the photo afterwards. And it happened at the last minute. Literally, the very last minute. Still, I think I don't have the mind of terrorists. I wouldn't know why they do it or what they go for, but I guess specifically picturing a fire alarm system doesn't really give it away that much. It could possibly, but still. I mean, this is why people mistrust security guards all the time, whether they're picturing fire alarm systems or doing something much more hardcore. I mean, whether it's either of those situations, this is why they mistrust them. This is why I think they're too aggressive. This is why Well, obviously I don't make fun of them because I don't bother, it's pointless. But some people do make fun of security guards for doing this sort of thing, particularly detained, and I kind of see why they do it. Well, I don't do it because, well, it's kind of pointless and it's kind of a waste of time. But what isn't a waste of time is kind of raising awareness for, like, speaking of which, I should raise awareness for my own kind. I mean, really, at the time, I kind of knew I was doing the right thing of attempting to record it, but because their words just get to me so much, it just makes me feel like I'm the one who's in the wrong, and it makes me feel like who, if anything, like, their words just overtake me and kind of make me insecure about it. That I can no longer stand up, even if, like, what they're doing is illegal and not me. So yeah, if anything, if this ever happens again, I kind of need to know and need to be more prepared of how to deal with it, because I may be a bit lost, especially now that because I only ever do this alone normally. I suppose whenever I haven't done it alone, it's been less likely, and that's kind of why I appreciated it. But technically, that's kind of impossible now. I guess I originally pinned it on the fact that I was fed up of doing it alone and I was being caught overdoing it. I mean, really, about this guy, some say that they claim that he uses other people to get him out of situations like this, and have him not deal with it at all, and have the other person deal with it instead, which sounds selfish in some cases. But I'm thinking otherwise. I'm thinking that with someone else just being there makes the one person to be able to deal with the situation better. That's what I think. That's probably the benefit of not doing it alone. And besides, I probably wouldn't have just, fucked off and just ran outside the building and left another guy to deal with the situation. No, I'd stay with him and possibly attempt to deal with it and see how it goes. I really don't know. Well, they just don't know about my kind. They mistake me for terrorists. That's probably why. But even when I do attempt to come forward, that is a rhetorical question. I mean, if anything, this video is aimed at Exchange Ilford and possibly a previous one. But that one's already been covered, so it doesn't need to be aimed at that other one. Besides, it's not as much of a big deal. Huh? Well, sure, some hobbies may look suspicious, but they just aren't. I mean, you get general photographers out there as well, and that's certainly not illegal. I mean, as I said, I'm not the only one who does it. Other people picture phone systems as well, and I'm sure there's other people who've done it before I started doing it as well. Well, maybe not in the UK, but especially in America. I mean, loads of people in America do it. Probably because American forums are overrated. So, I mean, really, why not have it in the UK as well? I mean, I don't care anymore how much harder still the UK is. That's not really the reality in some cases. But yeah, British phone systems need to be in the spotlight, like American phone systems, because everyone knows about, all sorts of American phone systems, but British phone systems are more underrated, and not many people know about them. So why not, make a change and bring British phone systems into the spotlight, like in the way that American guys do with American phone systems. Okay, sure, maybe now I see why people don't do it in the UK, but who gives a fuck? We can still do it because it's not illegal. I mean, really, I was just terrified, thinking I probably wasn't going to be able to get out of it. I thought I was going to be stuck in that spot forever. I mean, sure, if I could just keep me there for eternity until I get literally every answer. Huh? Well, that's why people will think it's illegal, because they don't know about it. But I think of firearm enthusiasts as like railway enthusiasts. We need to treat them like those, because even privatisation kind of respects the train spotter in some cases. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose companies around here, I guess. Well, or ADT, that's most likely. Well, or maybe ADT would sack their engineers because they're enthusiasts. That's what they're like. That's why I'm coming forward on both this one and the previous situation. So why not expose it in a live stream? Because it needs to be, like, the awareness needs to be raised. I kind of wonder if anyone else who pitches phone systems, if they have gone through anything like a situation like this one, or anything close to it, don't be afraid of coming forward about it. Like, anyone can talk about it. If even I'm doing it, why not have anyone else who may possibly have been in a situation like this one come forward about it as well? You know what? It seems to me like some say that they want to hide a fault of their phone system, but whenever I do see a fault of their phone system, I never seem to get caught with that, which is kind of strange. I suppose there's also often faults in a car park's phone system, but again, I don't get caught there either. Well, I suppose car park's probably one of the safest parts to picture phone systems as well, but still, it's I don't know what the most secure car park is. Well, exactly. If you were to activate the phone system, that would be more suspicious, and that would be a better reason to be detained. Probably a bit like surfing the lift. Yeah, that's a good equivalent, actually. Surfing a lift is like activating or working with a phone system unauthorized. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. But I'd say picturing a phone system is like just generally and innocently filming a lift without surfing it. Now that's another good equivalent, and neither of that is illegal. Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever, pictured phone systems has ever set them off as well, or particularly unauthorized. Sure, I may have activated phone systems most time, but I'm authorized to do it whenever I have done it. I've never done it unauthorized. You know what? I might just send a link from this live stream. I might send a link of this live stream direct to Exchange Ilford's Instagram page and tell them my experience. So they'll probably get the message. And another thing is that I've been at the last minute I've been illegally detained, but for something that I've done in the same site years previously, starting with 2016. And I mean, even in 2021, when I'd done more of it, I hadn't even been seen doing it. I mean, because this live stream is aimed at it, I might as well just send it to the company and, well, I don't need to give them bad reviews on this, but I just, need to make them aware that one of their, well, most likely customers is one of the firearm enthusiasts has been illegally detained in their site. I'm not sure they'll know who this guy is, but oh yeah, I think because the situation was bad enough as it was, I mentioned, well, you may remember I said I mentioned at least I'm not surfing a lift, which is a better reason to be detained, pretty much. But I did mention the guy who does it. I mean, I feel a bit out of control at that point. So sorry about that. But, well, if that's more controversial, then I figured why not expose to them something more controversial than what I was doing. Well, if anything, we've mentioned the whole kids surfing lifts and everything is even more controversial than that as well. Of course, they probably didn't understand the thing I say. I'm just going to go ahead and end the live stream here. I may possibly continue it if I have more to say about this. And the other intended subjects will have to wait as well. For now, anyway. It'll be covered in the next live stream, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Or live stream, even, whatever happens. Plus, I'll get this footage exported as well. There isn't much of it, but it'll do. I'll probably cover more of the situation in that video when I do it. So, catch you guys later.